welcome to the Nightly Stock Report. Today is Thursday. I think it's the June 7th, 2018. Hope everyone had a good trading day. Rather interesting, right? Tech was down, and the other stocks were up, right? Tech had a good pullback today. We'll go through a couple stocks I think you guys would find interesting and can make some potential plays with. Trading setups, etc., etc. So let's look at the Dow here. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I said, this is probably a sell signal, and we did get a fair sell signal, not a huge one, right? Not even 1,000 points, maybe around 400. So we caught that one thanks to Mr. Stochastics down here. Gave us a good signal. Now we're starting to bounce up again, and we're not really seeing any kind of parabolic move up, which is nice because we don't have to worry about the volatility piece of this. One thing I did notice when it relates to stochastics with the Dow Jones Spiders is sometimes it doesn't go right to the bottom, or I want to see it go down to 20 and bounce off of there. Sometimes, as you can see several times, kind of gets it's kind of hit and miss, right? But of course, this is just a guide, the stochastics, it's not 100%. So we had a good day over here. Will we go up tomorrow? I think the next level for this, for the diamonds, is going to be up in here. So a little under 26,000. If we can get through that, then we're looking at making some new highs, right? Bit of a gap here, but it's not a huge one. We should be able to fill that if we can continue going up. But that might be a point of resistance, of course, because look, it'll be a double top if we ever get that high again. I think we will. I think we'll go up for a bit, and maybe to like the a little below 26,000, have a pullback, and then continue on. This is a very sideways market, but we'll see, right? Things are looking good for now. Stochastics is indicating that we are getting a little bit overbought, but nothing too severe, right? So we'll take our time with this one and see what happens. So another stock that I thought was rather interesting today was AMD, right? Because it's big on, these are one of these stocks that are tech related and people like to trade. It's done well over the past couple months. And look, we have a bit of resistance here. This line is at 15, we'll call it 1556, right? All the way back from February 2017. Hit the area again, dropped August, couldn't quite get there. This is a great stock if you can time it just right to get in and get out, right? Look at this. Look at all these swings you have in here. And if you pay attention to the stochastics, and I like the 10-day moving average as well for swing trading. But you do what's best for you, right? Maybe there's something else out there that I'm not using that you guys find that's more intuitive. But this is my favorite indicator for swing trading, and look, it has been on fire for since the end of April, right? Hasn't really gone below the 10-day moving average. That's incredible. And look what we have here today. We closed above this line of resistance yesterday, opened up above it, but we couldn't handle it. Boom, closed down. Technically, that's not a very good sign, but you never know, right? This may become a new floor for this. Don't know. We have to wait and see. But right now, technically, it's not looking very good. That doesn't mean, like I said, tomorrow it could bounce. We'll see. But I wouldn't be surprised of a pullback. It's necessary to kind of keep things in order. But yeah, I hope people kind of stay out of this zone today. If you did, maybe it'll go through. I don't know. But never ever lose more than 7 or 8%, right? That's the golden rule. Stock that I discovered yesterday, which I sold out of today. I think I may have brought it up to you guys. Noodles and Company. So I bought yesterday on 9:15, I think. Sold today at 9:55. So just a quick trade. It's getting to the point of resistance around 10. So we'll see what happens with that, right? I'm still going to watch it because it's kind of interested in just kind of see where it ends up. But I just made a quick trade off of that one. I probably wouldn't buy it now unless we can get above 10. That would be a great sign. But Not going to count on it, but however, the good thing that it has going for it is lots of volume. Volume has been above average lately, so people are buying into this, and I think this could potentially be maybe another uptrend for renewables. It used to be a lot higher, so if you go back here, you can see it was one time $50 a share. So on a weekly chart, let's see if we can find on a weekly chart. Yeah, we're probably getting up to an area of resistance, but you never know, right? If we're hanging around here, maybe it'll form a base here and then take off again. But this might be one to jump back into, right? So I'm going to still pay attention to this one because I like the way that it's acting right now. It's on an uptrend, and we'll see if it handles can still handle that uptrend. Another stock that I found, I think it was yesterday, was Dish Networks. Still doing okay. Went up another almost 3% today. 2.8%. We'll call it that. Still, I think it still looks good. There's been a lot more volume, a good sign. And like I said, it's been acting pretty good. So we'll see where it ends up. I'm not quite sure. I know it's been really beaten up, but I think we can squeeze at least $35 a share out of it, and hopefully get above the 200-day. Oh, sorry, the 50-day moving average. And we'll see what happens with that. Right. This is definitely one to watch, maybe one to get into as well if you're kind of an aggressive investor, and see what happens here. Oil markets have been turning around a little bit, so one I like to watch from an ETF is OIH. So today we had a nice jump up of 2%. I've also put these red lines in here for support and resistance. I think we're going to be heading up towards that resistance zone again. If we can get through it, of course, that's a good thing. As you can see, as we cut across here, back in, so we have a bit of resistance here, starting in a resistance zone in April, right? So doesn't really cut through here, but as you can see in prior months, this was a ceiling. So now the ceiling is now a floor, right? Technical analysis 101. So I wouldn't be surprised if we made a dash for the all-time high, recent high of around, what is it? Let's see here, 30. Gotta be close to 30. 29.87 here, and on a weekly basis, you can see we have a long way to go. Actually, we hit an all-time high back in 2014. Let's see what else we have. Another interesting potential buy, which I like. Pretty risky though. Deutsche Bank. It has been the biggest piece of crap all year. Look, started at 19, now it's down to 11. But why do I like this now? First of all, and there's some a long line of resistance. So check this out. So way back when, I think I've mentioned this yesterday as well. At the end of end of September, beginning of October 2016, we bottomed out. Now we bottomed out again. We had a nice turnaround from there, of course. But will we see that same kind of action again? Don't know, right? It could potentially, yeah, maybe, or it could go through it, right? Got to be on your toes. So, that being said, I bought in, I think it was around 1160 or so. But we'll see what, I like the way that this is going, right? If the news out of Europe can improve, get better, I think this is a potential one that can potentially bounce up. And it's also it's barely above the 10-day moving average, which is always a nice sign. But, it could pull one of these, too. See where it's up here, went above it? Oh, yeah, it looks good, right? No. So if this thing starts to fall apart, I'll probably dump it really fast. So this is something I jumped in on today. Let's see, what else do we have today? We talked about AMD. We talked about OIH. Somebody was talking about on one of the stock channel boards, DNR. I used to own it. I got rid of it. Very interesting as well. Same setup as OIH, right? So we have the same type of setup here as well. Actually, it's a little different. No, it's not. It's not actually the same, but it's from a long-term perspective. Yeah, we're definitely bumping up against resistance here. in this zone. This is at 471. If we can close above that, that would be fantastic. Last time we hit that was quite a while ago, back in 2016. Same thing. This also, there's another stock. What was I going to say? DNR. Let me think about it for a minute. There's one that looks almost very, very similar. But that's okay. Once we get through this, you'll be golden. But that's the trouble, right? We're hitting some resistance, and as you can see back here in December, January 2017, we had the same type of scenario. Not quite as high, right? But we're coming up to that path of resistance again, right? If you bought back here and you're waiting and waiting, you didn't sell it 7-8%, man, you're waiting a long time to recover your money. I don't care. You could have found something else better in the meantime to invest in, right? So. Let's see. Talking about the Qs, low symbol L. I think this is hotel chain related, not the Lowe's store. Symbol L. This one brought my attention to. Talked about it yesterday. Continues to go up nicely. Hopefully it'll get up right around here again to 53 or so, and then I'll get rid of it or chop off some of the position and see where it goes. Will it go higher? Potentially. I mean, you never know, right? But this is definitely going to be an area of resistance up in here. Let's see, one more. Let's see, another interesting one to be aware of. I want to talk about CPG. This is a good stock to trade in and out as well. As you can see, look at these patterns, right? The resistance at the bottom. We're not really going anywhere right now. Will we trend up? Don't know. No, I mean, likely, maybe because stochastics are so low, but volume hasn't been there, so I'm thinking we'll go sideways until we get some concrete evidence of one way or the other. So look at this right here. We have some resistance right in here. I mean, just about, right? We can say right in here. This isn't a perfect line, but we can move it down and see, like right in this general zone, we're having some support. Likewise up here in the $9 zone, we can get some resistance. So we'll see what happens if it breaks through there. Probably the next stop will be, of course, lower. I'm thinking like 650 or so at the bottom here, which will be an opportunity to buy. But not yet. Not yet. Stand by. I mean, it could potentially bounce over here and go up, but I want to see more of a trend or a direction. And I'm going through my list here for you guys. One stock on the Canadian side was Dollarama, who had a bad day today. Just some estimates. But the good thing was I bought this stock a long time ago. I'm talking years. And I've held on to it. But this stock's a bit volatile. So as you can see, there's been some ups and downs. I remember back in here, I'm like, wow, man, I'm glad I didn't see this because I would have dumped it if I saw this go down into this area here, right? So it was one of those midday things where I didn't notice until it was all over. I'm like, holy smokes, I was going to dump it right there, or probably somewhere in this zone here, but I'm just like, I'm glad I was sleeping at the wheel. Sometimes it pays attention. It's good to pay attention and sometimes not, right? But one interesting thing about this stock is that we're coming up to a big point of resistance. So we have a triple bottom here, pretty close. We got pretty close here back in mid-February. Here we are again, mid-April, beginning of June. Here we are again. So I would suspect that we'd bounce up here. The company, it's a good company. There's a lot of interest in this company. But could we go through here? Yeah, for sure. And then where will we end up? It's hard to say. We have a gap to fill down here. It could be low as 130. Don't know, right? But this is something we should definitely pay attention to for all of you who own Dollarama up in the Great White North, which is where I am. Anyway, that is all the information I have for tonight. If you have a request or you want to talk about a certain stock, I'd like to do that. Like, share, and subscribe. This is a new channel, right? And I really cut to the chase, and I hope I give you guys some trading ideas to look at. No matter if you're a small trader, you can still trade these even in a Robinhood account, or you want to buy a few hundred shares. This is how you learn, right? Technical analysis is not that difficult, and once you get the swing of it, remember, all it is patterns, right? So, look, we got a pattern here of resistance. Look. We'll follow up with this one tomorrow and see what it does. I'm curious if it bounces back off of here. I'm curious how it'll open in the morning. It closed at the end of the spectrum here today. But anyway, I hope you enjoy that. Like, share, and subscribe, and I hope everyone has a great evening, and maybe we'll talk to you tomorrow. Hopefully so. Take care.